All right, guys. So in this video, we're gonna break down dollar, Nasdaq, and gold. We had a nice trade that I took on Nasdaq earlier today. I had the video recording. I'm gonna show you guys the video recording at the end of the video, so stick around for that. But let's go ahead. I'm gonna break down the dollar, Nasdaq, and gold, and I'm gonna talk about some of my predictions going into tomorrow. Right? What played out today? Break down how the price moved on the intraday level. It's very essential, very key to keep on constantly we looking at the same concepts over and over again. Whether they're fair value gaps, order blocks. In our case, we call them loot zones and C4s. You need to look at how price is reacting to certain levels that we call out, and also look at the time of the day that these price runs take place. So this video is going to be very interesting, and I'm hoping to give you guys some knowledge or updated understanding of how the markets operate. So first of all, let's look at dollar dollar here. As you can see, let's go on a weekly chart. Dollar has this nice little loop zone in place, right? Fair value gap loop zone. Has this nice little loop zone in place, this orange area where price typically draws to as a magnet. We did see price make its way there last week as expected. This week it can still touch there again. Now the question is, from here, does it drop? What does it do? I really don't know because we've already ran out of pool liquidity. All I know is this level can act as still a magnet for price. So with dollar, consolidation slash slightly bullish lens. Really, I'll call it more of a consolidation. As you can see on the daily chart, we have all this back and forth going on here. Okay, so dollar's just been in consolidation. All right, and if you look right here, we have this nice little C4 right here on the daily chart where price can touch that, and we can expect to explode from there. Where does it explode to? We do have a little gap in price right here that I can expect the price to then find its way higher. That's what I'm expecting for the dollar. We already have a nice structure put in place where we have this low here, swing low, this swing low, and then this swing low. We have a nice little pattern taking place here, right? That's showing some type of curvature. These are all daily candles, so they're more significant. So I am expecting and watching to see price wants to find its way a little higher. 4-hour chart. Again, we had this level here that we were watching last week. Price has since traded above it, which in my mind keeps dollar bullish. But again, you can see it hasn't really made any significant move higher. So this is an overall consolidation. That being said, with a dollar consolidation, it does allow price assets to do, to go higher, go lower, right? Because this is a consolidation, so price can really do anything. And you just have to follow pure price action on each asset class without understanding that dollars in a consolidation. So with a consolidation on dollar with expectation, we could make our way higher eventually. All right. And when higher, I mean just slightly higher. 1-hour chart, again, didn't really do much today. All we did is drop lower, then trade it higher, running out these highs right here, and we stuck here. The smooth highs right here, we can eventually see dollar making its way higher. It could drop lower first. Again, it's in consolidation profile. Nothing crazy, nothing major to do here. Just follow pure price action to other assets you're trading. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and look into where's that stuff at? Oh, let's look at something else real quick here, guys. Okay, I guess not on this chart. Well, that's that. Now let's go into gold. Gold. Okay, so looking at gold to begin with, right? This is what I'm looking for here. This right here. Cool. Looking at gold, right? Immediately, what you see is on a weekly basis, this thing has moved higher. We do have a little slight gap in price here, a little loop zoning here in price, where I've been watching, see price trading there. But with this immediate reaction we had today, we could see price easily, constantly move higher. All right. So what we have again is a bullish structure on gold. It's gonna stay bullish on weekly chart until we run below these lows. We do have this large wick here, so just pay attention to that. This could act as some form of resistance. This large wick. So price trades in there. It might not be a smooth selling. It could, cause some type of pullbacks. But overall, we're in a bullish structure. And what does that mean? We should find a way to make higher highs eventually. But I am watching the fact that we have this large wick here. This could act as some form of resistance or a zone that can then lead to price dropping a little lower. Daily chart. So daily chart, what we had marked up, I didn't do the markup yesterday, but with profits liquidity. But what I was watching here is also this daily volume imbalance. I want to see if price wants to find its way in there. And lo and behold, we did have that take place. So price did move up to that level. And it looks like we're not going higher. Where we're likely to tag, liquidity. If you pay even closer attention, we do have this daily volume imbalance right here too. So price tends to gravitate towards those levels like a magnet. So we have a high here and a volume imbalance. So I am expecting price to find its way higher and take out its liquidity, and then we'll see what happens from here if this wants to then offer a lower prices or wants to continue going higher. 4-hour chart. Again, you can kind of see the 4-hour chart. You can see price drop lower, right? Higher, drop lower here into what, a C4, right? I want to draw this up as down close candle here. Price drops to that and went higher. You got this down close candle here sinking into these down close candles, which act as C4s as well. And price explodes away. And price drops lower again into what, this loop zone between this candle's range. This candle's high, this candle's low. We see price push away, trading above these highs. So what is the obvious level? Where are the sitting ducks? Where's liquidity resting? Obviously above here. All right, with all that context on the daily chart, keep this in mind here. Make sure this is visible. Make sure it's visible on the 4-hour chart. We can then expect price to, of course, find its way and gravitate to higher towards these levels. And then, yeah, so that's what I'm watching for gold. Now let's look on that 1-hour chart. And one thing I would like to point out though on gold, I would like to see this thing, if this thing can dip a little lower first. If we could dip lower first, back into these levels, and then go higher, I would like that. I would like to see a pullback of some sort. But gold has just been on a tear. But if we can pull back, maybe take out these lows here while still trading this 4-hour loot zone, then find its way higher, I would love that. On that 1-hour chart to see. Yeah. So again, if we draw this Fibonacci here, I'm gonna go with this last range, low to high. 50% is here. So if price can again go lower, just take out this full liquidity, right? Drop below 50% of the range, and maybe find its way higher. It doesn't have to come all the way down. If it does that, great. That's the one that get the fact that we're still going higher. But I like to just pull back a little bit before it makes it move higher. But gold has been really, really tearing. So maybe it never even comes back below here. Perhaps it just uses this range right here. And honestly, guys, for me, gold has been super manipulated. You guys saw I was able to call the markets on Friday, and I told you guys how a certain level was going to hold the price and drop it lower. And this was around this level here. You can go check the Telegram channel, but I mean the Discord. I did say it was going to drop lower and potentially take us below here. It never got below there. All it did was drop us lower, taking out this pool of liquidity right here, which is enough to take some profits off the table. But after taking out that pool of liquidity here, after running to this vault on this jump here, ever since they just went higher, enter this little loop zone right here. I'm not drawing everything out, but let me go ahead and draw this one out. Enter this loop zone right here, shaded in green. Right? And it took off ever since then. And just been on a tear. So these markets have been a one-way street for gold. Like when it wakes up, just wakes up. It's ridiculous. So we'll see. Does price want to drop lower into the series of down close candles and push price higher? Or does it want to run lower, take out liquidity first, and then go higher? But again, my target, my eyes are right here at these highs. So I'll be watching to see price gets 3385. Okay. 15-minute chart. We're going to go into more details here. So again, you can see price started really moving just in one direction. Starting London session just kept going, going, going. And then when price moves like that, guys, when it's just a one-way street, one thing you should avoid doing is going into the AM session expecting a continuation. When price has already drawn far away with speed, impulsively, and it goes into the session, like New York session, you shouldn't expect a continuation. You should expect perhaps price to slow down, maybe run out liquidity, and ideally you want to get into the markets in the PM session. Once you have a move that's already taken place into your session, you might as well we want to wait a little bit, wait for the PM session because every trader is going to try and chase this higher and then probably get chopped up in here. Then come 13 o'clock New York time, that's when they'll actually push price. So if you see here, price just ran higher and higher and higher, start consolidating. Right? There's nothing that you could have done here when it came to taking a trade in New York session without getting chopped up. Now, if you waited, however, 13 o'clock, boom. What did price then do? Smoothly make its way higher. Taking out what? This high right here, which most people see as a doji. Oh, price creating a high because they see this doji candle here. They expect price making a high, but in reality, that is again a poor liquidity because we have context that price has been going higher. So to turn this whole train around is going to be tougher. So you want to wait till 13 o'clock. You already see they did this. They made this run here, taking out what? This poor liquidity, running into what? A nice little loop zone here on the 15-minute chart. All right ahead of 13 o'clock. Then we just kept pushing higher to close the day, run out these highs. Now, if we go on a 5-minute chart, I mean, again, this is where the market just controlled, just literally every single down close candle was supporting price here on gold, right? Done at 13 o'clock. Look at that. That's why it's essential to understand the time of the day you should be trading. So look at these down close candles, which we call C4s. Down close candles when price is expected to move higher are called C4s. Look how price just hit that level right there. Another down close candle right there. Every single down close candle could have been used for an entry in this case. Price just moving so smoothly, super controlled, super manipulated. Every single entry, just a little down close candle movement. Price is moving very tightly, right? It was very, very tightly. Every down close candle could be used for a nice entry to take price what above these highs. Look at how many C4s price trading that takes goes higher, trading that goes higher. When you see that happening, that's institutional sponsorship. So before you get in the trade, it's ideal that you do want to see are the opposing candles being supported, are down close candles being supported in the uptrend, and that's what we have here to eventually take out this high. Well, a lot of traders leave the high resting there, or their stop loss resting there. So price take that out at 13 o'clock. Okay, so it's a interesting thing to see. If you were trying to again buy in here during AM session during 7 o'clock, you probably got chopped up. Look what happens when the market frees up during the PM session. It takes price higher. So that's the business there for Nasdaq. I don't think it's even necessary to go into 1 minute chart. Even if you look into the 1 minute chart, let's look into that for 1 second here. What do you see? Now, one thing you see within these C4s are what? Fair value gaps or loot zones. So tie that in. You have the order blocks, you have the C4s. Now, the lower time frame within those C4s, you also have loot zones. How beautiful is that? All right. So if you see it, you see it. These are very technical areas. Loot zone right here. It's this inverse loot zone right here. Price trades into that. Another loot zone right here. Price trades into that. Another loot zone right here. Price trades into that, and it takes off. Wonderful. Gold. Not the biggest fan of gold. I'll tell you guys that. It's just heavily manipulated, in my opinion. Let's go into Nasdaq, which I consider my baby. Gold has been taking a lot of my attention these days, but I'm going back to trading the Nasdaq. Um, it is just smooth, 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 in my opinion. All right. So the Nasdaq NQ. Let's go on the weekly chart for a second before we get into details of today. Guys, pretty obvious. Again, when you see single highs like this, price is likely to gravitate towards the area. So imagine the value you're getting. You're understanding where price is likely to trade towards. That's important. Understand the bias. Just trade in that direction is ideal, right? So we're able to give you that bias ahead of time. And again, when it's easy to tell, it's easy to talk about, right? Easy to see. This right here is likely to get tagged. What is this week or next week? Point is, it's a single high that what stands right within a weekly loot zone. So we are expecting price to make its way higher to take those to run that high. You probably want to know what those red lines are. If you go on the monthly chart for a second, you know, you can see this is a loot zone as well. A loot zone low, loot zone high. So ideally, we want to at least trade to the midpoint of that. And because we also see on the weekly chart that high, that single high that's there, my expectation is that we eventually make our way there and take that high out. Now, when we get there, do we get some rejection? We're yet to see that. But we do. I do want to see if we make our way higher here, take out this high on Nasdaq. Daily chart. If we go look on this weekly chart again, this is a weekly C4 right here. C4. It's called C4 right there. And you see how the previous week price tapped that level and made its way higher. Let's see how it looks on a daily chart. Look how it taps it, then pushes higher. What is creating the process? A nice volume imbalance. Price trades that takes off. And then now we have today's price action, right? So what do we have to contend with? This daily volume imbalance. And again, thought process is we make our way higher to here. Okay. And pay attention how I have this right here lined up. This is Thursday's high. This is going to be important later, this dotted line. Let's go to forward chart though. Forward chart. What do we have here? We have price trade higher, drop lower, trade higher. So now we have this high to low. What do I expect? What do I really want to see? I want to see price make its way lower, snatching out these lows first. So as much as we have a bias that's bullish, right? Again, you want to picture that weekly candle forming. Ideally, I want to see us. I'd rather be buying below the weekly opening price. The weekly opening price over here, I want price to go lower first. And that'll be an ideal time to get into the market to buy and make our way higher. Because I am picturing price dropping lower first on the weekly level and then making its way higher. So we do have this lows right here as well that are clear and clean. If we take that out, it does not change my mind that we're going to be bearish. If we take that out, that's great. If it now hits this C4 right here, I'll just draw it out for you guys real quick. It doesn't have to hit it. Going below here alone and getting to this loot zone here alone could turn price around. But if he wants to go deeper, as long as we don't trade below this C4 here, then I'm going to stay bullish. Okay, so I'm watching, see that drop lower, and again, I like how it created this. If it looks smooth closer here, if it starts dropping lower first, it has equal highs here, in my opinion. These smooth highs, I'd love to see price run that out. So again, expectation: can we make our way lower first, and then make our way higher? 1 hour chart. All right. So on 1 hour chart, great. So it kind of looks like we're about to make our way lower here, taking out these lows more than likely, and then perhaps this low here. We'll see if we get all that. Maybe just takes out this low, hits here and reverses. We'll see. But again, I want to see price drop lower below this weekly opening price. That would be ideal to then take price higher. So let's talk about what happened today. This is today's price action, right? Starting here, price drops lower. What is it in? Look to your left of your chart. This is a loot zone right here. Don't feel like drawing everything out, but I'm just going to highlight it for a second. This is a loot zone. This is where you expect the market makers or smart money to be getting to the trade. And the fact that we didn't even close outside of this makes it a strong loot zone, right? So we have that happening. And then I'm just going to get this way out of the picture. So that's there. And then what do we also have, guys? If you look closer here, we had this right here. This was a loot zone. I mean, sorry, C4 right here, highlighted in yellow. That is a C4. Okay. As price what tapped that level, immediately took off. Where? To this shaded area. What is this area? If you look closely, this is Friday closed here, and then Sunday opened here. So there's a little gap of volume imbalance right there. That, again, most retail traders will not see. If you're trading the Nasdaq 100, that probably will not come to your attention. I'll bet you right now. Let's look at Nasdaq 100. I haven't checked it, but I'm pretty sure you're gonna see something different than what we see here. Yeah, see how that looks clean, right? But if you look at the real actual contract, you can see a little discrepancy. How remember up close candle close up here, down close candles open here. So there's a little gap in price there. So when price hit that, it turns around, comes to turning point. We've seen that drops more likely to take out these lows. And if you take out those lows, if it trades below this loop zone, perhaps you can see that at that resistance and then drop price low. But in the meantime, we're going to focus on the fact that price made its way higher after hitting this C4 here, pushed higher into this turning point, right? This volume imbalance, and then drop price lower, and we're likely to take out these lows now. Let's go on the 15-minute chart. Okay. So looking at this 15-minute chart, what I have here highlighted is pretty much almost encapsulating London's price action. 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. Right? This is London's price action. You want to know that range. What does price do? It runs right outside our range, taking out liquidity. Again, this does this during New York session. So it takes out this low. Then we see price go higher, create these down close candles, right? Go higher. Price changes down close candles being respected and goes higher, creating what? A C4 plus. Remember, the 1 hour chart, you can see this clear C4 plus. Look how many times when that was created, price hit it here, took off, right? And then drop right back into it, just take off again. So this would have been a nice trade setup. Trading into the C4 to then expect price to one, run out these highs, run to the previous daily high. Remember I told you guys this stuff was going to be significant. And perhaps run into what? This gap in price right here, where Friday closed up here and then Sunday opened down here. That was a target from this low to this high. That was a nice trade I could have been taken on Nasdaq. And that was how many points? 186 points. Yeah, perhaps risking 32 points. So that would have been a nice 1 to 6 trade entry. Okay. So that was down the 15-minute chart. And if you look closer here on the 15-minute chart too, during the PM session, you have price again doing what? Turning right around, trading into what you call a breaker, or we're calling this a landmine. We'll call this a landmine. This is just what breaks up price. Once you see this take place, it destroys what's already in motion. Meaning there's a push higher, taking out liquidity, then a drop lower. The down close candles are not treated as what you call a landmine. Could this move here exploded, taking out liquidity, then we drop back below it. So as price trades below that level, we can expect this to act as a breaker. We're also at what a previous daily high. So look how price wicked higher and then rejected that level. Then eventually made its way lower, taking out these lows, and lower, taking out these equal lows right here. And now we have these lows probably going to take out. So it's a beautiful run higher into a level that we can expect the price to actually turn around. And then price creating this landmine here. And then we see trade away from it. It's really nice, beautiful price action from Nasdaq today. If you want that 5-minute chart, again, same. Look how beautiful that is. So I took a chart on the PM session and the AM session, but I really want to talk about the PM session trade more because it was more like AM session. You kind of see a lot of wicks. Look at all these wicks, like a little nasty here. But again, with the context of that C4, that was your entry right here, right at 1040 to then take price higher, eventually higher. Now, 13 o'clock, what do we have here? Remember, minute opening price all the way down here. Okay. So when price has gone all the way higher, and if you're to draw a range high to low on London session, you can see we have one standard deviation or half a standard deviation right here, one standard deviation right here. we kind of end up in the middle of that. So like a 0.75. Use the bodies to do measurements here. What I'm doing is just measuring how much you can expect price to move. This is an advanced topic here, by the way. But if you look at the previous session, you kind of measure how much you're expecting the price to move based off of that session's range. And you can see right here, we came very close to one standard deviation, and we start rejecting. Okay? And when we start rejecting, dropping lower, we had a break of structure here, right? And then you see price, what? Dropping lower again, right into this what? C4 minus, drops lower, runs back higher one more time, C4 minus, drops lower, and then runs this what? C4 right here, see it does it here, drops lower again, taking out these clean equal lows right here. So it was a nice setup during the PM session. Again, 13 o'clock, price moves higher, then eventually starts breaking its way lower. On that 1 minute chart. And that trade was actually recorded, so you guys will see the recording of that trade after this video, shortly after this video. Again, 1 minute chart, you can see you kind of see closely. If you look very closely here, there's a loot zone right here. When price trades below it, look how he uses as resistance, drops lower, right? Creates a light little loot zone here. What's price doing there? Look how it stops to the T. It's beautiful. And that's how you know price control. Drops lower, boom. Trades higher into what? A C4 minus, this up close candle. Drops lower, trades into what? Goes higher, trades into what? A nice little loot zone right here. Drops lower, consolidates, creates what? A C4. So price trades back into that C4 here. Goes higher into it, it drops again. And that completed the trading day. So just a nice little trade on Nasdaq. Nice breakdown of these charts. Again, you're gonna see the trade I then took. Again, everything's taken on a demo. Whatever I show you guys, for the most part, I'm never gonna show you guys. First, I'm not a financial advisor, so to protect myself, I tend to trade in a demo account when showing you guys what I'm doing here. So you're gonna see that trade take place. It's an execution, beautifully executed. It's a good thing to watch and review. It's 4 minutes long. So again, if you got any information from this one, go ahead and give this one a thumbs up or whatever it might be. Invite a friend, tell a friend. Again, it's a free information. I'll give you guys a lot of details here. I added the thought process of looking at the previous session's range and understanding where price projects where price can eventually go to. That's essential. I showed you guys C4, how that took place, push price higher. I showed you guys volume imbalance right here that you might not be seeing. You're just trading for currencies. And I show you guys how price broke down. Look at his previous day low as well. Look at how it stops right there to the T and it drops lower, hitting going back a little higher to C4 and drops lower. I mean, this is beautiful price action on Nasdaq broken down here, the Texas Heist way, the bag snatch way. So hope this was very helpful. Hope this was insightful, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.